Good day everyone, I am Viann Limas from BSHM3B, and today I am going to report Chapter 15, Tourism and Hospitality Management Education. So our learning objectives, differentiate schools abiding with laws from those that are not. Then identify the requirements in the opening and operation of a tourism or hospitality management program and tourism-related technical vocational programs. Then identify the laws governing various issues in tourism and hospitality education. Curriculum. The law. The curriculum of the BS Tourism and BS Hotel and Restaurant Management programs of the different colleges and universities around the country should be compliant with CHED Memorandum Order Number 31 Series of 2001. Discussion of the law. The changes in the curriculum in the BS Tourism and BS Hotel and Restaurant Management programs of the different colleges and universities should remain relevant to the needs of the global and local tourism industry in order to make the graduates employable. The minimum curriculum requirements consist of general education, 51 units, hospitality management core, 24 units, business education core, 18 units, and major subject, 36 units, practicum, 3 units, and physical education, 8 units. School, laboratories, and other CHED requirements. The law. The grant of government recognition shall be based on full 100% compliance with the minimum requirements prescribed by CHED in the offering of a particular program of study, specifically in terms of faculty, library, laboratory, and administration. Discussion of the law. For schools seeking to operate for the first time a BSHRM or Hospitality Management Program, they need to secure a government permit from CHED. CHED has now devolved the inspection of schools to the regional offices through the regional quality assessment teams. Schools are inspected by members of the academe and industry experts. Student practicum or apprenticeship. The law. In relation to CMO number 31 series of 2001, the minimum requirements for student practicum in BS Tourism and BS Hotel and Restaurant Management are 3 units. Discussion of the law. The rationale of these requirements is to provide students valuable experience by way of work immersion in different kinds of tourism-related establishments like hotels, resorts, restaurants, travel agencies, and transportation firms locally or overseas. Accreditation and deregulation of schools. The law. In accordance with the pertinent provisions of Republic Act 7722, otherwise known as the Higher Education Act of 1994, the Commission on Higher Education hereby promulgates the revised policies and guidelines on voluntary accreditation in aid of quality and excellence in higher education for the guidance and information of all concerned stakeholders. Discussion of the law. Those that have been granted accredited status level are deregulated and are given freedom to change their curriculum provided they meet minimum standards prescribed by CHED. On the other hand, schools are granted autonomy. This means that they are no longer supervised by CHED and they have a wide range of privileges including curriculum, curricular autonomy, new program offerings, and more. Tuition fees. The law. The allowable increase in tuition and other fees in all levels should not be more than the prevailing national inflation rate. The prevailing national inflation rate shall refer to the average annual headline inflation rate at the national level of the immediately preceding year prior to the academic year for which the intended increase shall take effect. Then discussion of the law. Any increase in tuition or other fees in all levels to be made up by a private higher education institute or HEI shall be subject to consultation with stakeholders, and approval of the Commission on Higher Education. Sexual harassment in the academe. So the law. Section 3B of Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995 or RA number 7877 provides that in an education or training environment, sexual harassment is committed. Then Section 4 of RA 7877 provides that it is of the employer, of head of the school or head of the training to deter the commission of acts of sexual harassment. So, discussion of the law. So, this law punishes any person who directs or induces another to commit any of the foregoing acts of sexual harassment or who cooperates in the commission by another. So, example of this like malicious touching of private parts, sexual assault, and verbal request or demand or more. Random drug testing or tertiary level students. So the law. In accordance with the pertinent provision of Republic Act number 7722, otherwise known as the Higher Education Act of 1994, and pursuant to Section 36C of Article 3 of RA 9165, otherwise known as the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2000, so random drug tests in public and private tertiary or higher educational institutions will be implemented beginning 2003. So discussion of the law. So the random drug testing shall be implemented as a collaborative undertaking of the government, the schools, students, and their parents. So the whole process shall not in any manner be utilized to these students. Then we have tertiary education equivalency. So CMO 21 series of 1997 provides the policies and guidelines on the implementation of the expanded tertiary education equivalence and accreditation program pursuant to Executive Order 33. Then we have discussion of the law. So many of the practitioners in the tourism and hospitality industry were not able to complete college degree because of various reasons. So some have become very successful and distinguished in their career as chefs, hotel managers, restaurant managers, and travel agents. Then we have the last topic, which is the foreign students. So the law. So there have been a number of CHED memoranda issued in relation to processing foreign students in the Philippines. So we have the CMO 53S 1997, CMO 7S 1996, CMO 1S 1996, CMO 15S 1995, and CMO 4. So, discussion of the law. So, the typical foreign student enrolled in the Philippines is granted student visa, travels to his home country once or twice a year, so rents a studio or apartment, and visits tourist spot in the country. So, the school must ensure that all the documents of are in order before admitting or enrolling the student. So that's all in my report about Chapter 15, Tourism and Hospitality Management Education. So I hope that you've learned something. Thank you for listening and God bless.